Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where last time we finished the second part of Abyssos, of the Pandemonium raids, and then Erichtonius, our friend here, just kind of snapped and was abducted. This was Hephaistos' work, there can be no doubt. It seems he learned from his previous failure. Hephaistos is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Erichtonius, it made short work of his reason. But the moment he laid eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. It was but a matter of time until it spilled forth. And that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Erichtonius himself failed to notice, and it was too late. If this is the measure of Hephaistos' power, then the other keywords had little chance to resist it. We saw its work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hephaistos' magic fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there's something else besides. Did he not feel the presence of another? I heard a voice yet. As I thought, someone was trying to warn Erichtonius, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywords? Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Erichtonius past the point of no return. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hephaistos knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. There's time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold on which to brave Pandemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Just as with Hesperos, Erichtonius is in danger of being consumed by Hephaistos' spell. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear. La Habrea, pray tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandemonium is called Tartaros, and your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. Abyssos has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving far past the threshold. That, I expect, is where Desiree shall shine. Her dissolute aether shall allow her to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaistos had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. When time is of the essence, Hephaistos is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defenses at your leisure. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I am afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. What do you mean? We have yet to discern to what end Hephaistos would use Erichtonius. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there's the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Erichtonius' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if we refuse to acknowledge it? I do acknowledge it. I only wish to spare those that feel it still greater pain. So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child? How dare you? No, you're right. The blame for Erichtonius' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Very well, I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the Phoebe force has been laid low. The remaining keyword is Abyssos. She has served in Pandemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless, even among the keywords. Hephaistos knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your aether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Abyssos. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight and phantom allies to aid you. As for the internment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. Internment shall not be necessary. From here I can sense Abyssos' essence, but it's scarcely recognizable. Hephaistos was more ambitious with her than he was with hegemony. She has been transfigured such that barely a scant of herself remains. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be to her. I see. We had similar troubles with the people transformed by anima. I shall establish control of Abyssos while keeping an eye on your battle. When the dust is settled, Hephaistos will have nowhere left to flee. I sense that Hephaistos has come close to perfecting his image of a Hephaistos, which means his research is in its final stage. Abyssos, the Seventh Circle. Hephaistos, Abyssos. Is this what became of a keyword? How dreadful.
If you will not leave, then you shall become mine. Abyssos, yes. This is my vessel. Have I been gifted new test subjects?
She means to send you plummeting into the abyss. Allow me to soften your landing. Perhaps you require more room for heroics. I sense convergence of ether. Beware of what they may spawn. So beam of the circles. Nice.
Leave me to my research. Or become.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. That wasn't far enough away. The moment Abyssos was slain, the flow of Aether and Pandemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. It was almost as if we were ushered here. The space was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a keyword would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty, ergo... Ghost. If only I could restore Tartaros to order. But I'm afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It's been too long, Master La Habrea. Likewise, keyword Abyssos. I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hephaistos' spell, even diminished as you were. It was not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses stick into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus am I able to appear before you now, even when my body was powerless to resist Hephaistos' commands. Some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance, and even managed to speak to the outside world. The report! That was you! Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times I've called out to you. The hope that was pleased would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There's something you must know. The tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I'm about to do, Master La Habrea, but the story must be told. It is the only way to understand Hephaistos' fixation on Erichtonius. No longer can you hide your heart away. Hephaistos? No. The mask marks him as La Habrea. Master La Habrea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaistos. These are my recollections of the moments following. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Erichtonius? My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. We would be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit's soul, but Athena's teaching has warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Erichtonius believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which will inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred, and the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul mere tools, to be used and discarded. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to surf a star far from its parent's shadow. Erichtonius loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is La Abrea's nature. Every action, every word a solution to life's great dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I've revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to La Abrea to paint the rest for you. And for Erichtonius, I hope. Thank you, Abyssos. I've always admired you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Hephaistos has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must prepare to bring our full strength to bear. It was Erichtonius' hatred for his father that caused him to fall victim to Hephaistos' magics. If the root of that hatred were born from a son's love. A love nurtured not by a mother caring for her offspring, but by a researcher creating the ideal test subject. Pandemonium abounds with demons indeed. Abyssos was ever a bold woman, even in her final moments. That she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that she faced you as her last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. From a son's undying love for his mother was born a deep well of hatred for his father. For Erichtonius, those emotions were all too real. The efficacy of Hephaistos' magic attests to that. Yet they were spun by a guiding hand. One resort to use his inner turmoil as a tool for experimentation. One final wish. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research, and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position out of a sense of love or pride. It was merely because she knew he would be the most pliable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Erichtonius could handle the weight of such betrayal, after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaistos has taken up Athena's research, and succeeded in creating Hephaestos. I know not what his ultimate end is, but it is plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Erichtonius to safety in accordance with Abyssos' last wish. Very well. I can at least assure you that finding him shall prove relatively simple now that Hephaistos can no longer bend Pandemonium to his will. There's but one place left for him to find refuge. The Black Heart of Tartaros, where Athena built her testing compound. We can assume that Hephaistos will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. Labre, I would ask that you assume the duty of summoning Desiree's phantom warriors. I have no objections. My ability to fight within Tartaros would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal a final blow to Hephaistos myself. There is no need to dirty your hands with such a deed. I take it then that you have no intent to seal him away as before. The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaistos bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked, and the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. On my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, and so he must be extinguished. Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. The 8th circle, now accessible. The end is in sight. Return to me safely, friend. If Hephaistos truly means to continue Athena's research, then Erichtonius is indispensable to his goals. He is safe, but for how much longer I cannot say. Erichtonius!
Erichtonius is mine, heart and soul. And with your death, none will be left to stop me.
Perfect imperfection, Hephaistos. And in red because it's La Habrea who's helping us, not Themis or Elidibus.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison. From fulgent flame my servants rise.
I think
Out
you were
of my sight!
line, yeah, but
Leave
wrong
naught
direction.
but ash in your wake.
And you were besides.
Let seep sorrow into your heart. A fitting death. Behold the fruits of sacrifice. You will know my rage.
Jump and...
Perish! in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
Air circles. The dragons moved.
From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight! I shall see my wish fulfilled. You are prey to be consumed. Sear flesh from bone.
Okay, I stay here.
Leave naught but ash in your wake. A fitting death. Behold the fruits of sacrifice. You will know my rage.
Nope. Bounce.
Who praying before a god?
Pandemonium Abyssos complete.